time.
Yep.
Woo.
Woo.
Okay. Next up, we have actors Tony and Alex working through an excerpt from the play I Ought to Be in Pictures by Neil Simon.
Tyler said, hey, the remote's up there.
Thank you.
Can we get that applause again for energy?
What's the point in tiptoeing? You could hear the car pull up in Denver.
I didn't want to wake you.
You have to fall asleep before someone can wake you.
Why didn't you take your pill?
I took a pill. The pill is more worried about you than I am.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd be busy doing other things.
I did other things. What are you whispering for?
I don't want to wake Steffi.
She's not that light a sleeper. She went home 2 hours ago.
Well, how come? Doesn't she usually stay over?
Well, she's not usually staying over tonight.
Well, what's wrong? Something happened with you two?
Never mind Steffi. How about explaining where you've been till 3 o'clock in the morning?
I was out.
What do you mean, out? 3 nights this week. You come home 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock. I want to know where you've been.
I'm okay. I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
Huffy? You walk out of here. You don't tell me where you're going. You don't call. You don't know anyone in this city. You walk in 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't think I have a right to be huffy?
You want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Don't test me. Don't play games with me. If you think I'm going to keep paying for those 16 years I owe you, you got another guest coming. It's a bad debt. Forget it. You're never going to collect.
All I asked you for was one lousy introduction to some of your big shot friends, which I never got because you don't ask.
You've been on my back asking for payoffs ever since you walked in here with that orphan Annie look on your face. You owe me and I'm here to collect. That's what you said to me. Am I right, Grandma? Am I making that up? You're my witness.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I was out meeting people.
What people?
Important people. In the business.
Show business?
That's right.
I see. And what important show business people did you meet tonight?
Okay,
Producer.
good. Good, you two. Nice, nice, nice. How's it feeling?
Good. I mean, we're definitely feeding the energy to and from each other, and I'm feeling it. We worked on a gradual build. It's gonna really peak at the end. We don't want to get there too fast. We've got some kind of peaks and valleys built into it.
That's very controlled of you. And you know, God is going to have his own way of doing things. And I'm not talking about me. I had this realization in the car. I realized that I'm always right. And here's why I say that. I'm always right because I'm willing to be wrong. Therefore, I'm right when I'm wrong, because I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, I'll agree. I don't mind moving. I don't mind changing. I don't mind being malleable. The truth is, all I want is the best. So as I was saying here, with all of your best efforts to want to hold it back and wait till whenever, I want you to have pre-thought that, but you cannot control a scene, the same as you cannot control real life. So you must act as if this is real life. So what's going on with Herb right now, and what's going on with the two of them coming into this moment?
So I've been waiting up for her.
Why?
I don't know where she is. I'm concerned for her.
Why do you care?
Well, she's my daughter.
Oh.
And I just had a fight with my girlfriend who wanted to have a serious talk about our relationship, which I couldn't focus on because I was worried about, well, where is she? And is she dressed warmly enough? And so I'm concerned for her. I'm angry at her because she won't tell me where she is. And then now that she's finally back in my life, because I walked out on her mother 16 years ago, and then she suddenly shows up at my doorstep, and I want her back in my life, but then I can't do my job as a father to protect her if she won't let me in and tell me what she's doing.
Which wouldn't be a problem if she just wouldn't show up. But then she did.
She marches in.
How long ago?
Like a week.
So literally 10 days ago, you weren't losing sleep
Right.
over where she was.
In fact, because her mother had cut off my contact with her after we broke up, and that was so painful, I was kind of living, pretending like I didn't even have kids anymore. There's her and her younger brother, and I was just trying to like block that out, like that wasn't even part of my life. And then suddenly she shows up, and it all gets scrambled.
Yeah. All true. So now, when she first shows up, I think there's the initial case of denial, and perhaps this will be a quick little, she wanted to say hello, I'll send her back to her mom with a
Right.
kiss and $20 in her pocket, and I can go back to my superficial LA lifestyle. And that is what Neil Simon is writing about here, is this pursuit of Hollywood over family. And he's kind of going, hey, what's the point of all of this without that? I got a writer's block because, why? Because there's this empty hole in my heart. Okay, so he thinks, good, we'll just give her $20, have her be on her way. However, what happens in the course of this week is he sees himself in her, he sees things that are beautiful about her, the fact that she's around has been encouraging him to grow personally. It makes him very uncomfortable, but he's now fallen in love with his little girl, which is a very uncomfortable place to be if you're a self-centered LA writer who's never had to worry about anyone but himself. Therefore, you are and should be much more worried in the beginning of the scene than you were.
Ah, okay.
He says he's not, but he very much is. Waiting up. At the same time, the conundrum that he's in is he's trying to find the way to father her, but he hasn't earned father rights. He knows he wants to protect her, however, who is he to say she can't stay out past a certain time because he hasn't been around. And in fact, he didn't even seek her out. But he's in this place of, and what's funny for us as the audience is to see this guy who didn't care, who was like, who are you? And, you know, fine, and I guess, whatever, to now he's the very stereotypical dad waiting up for his teenage daughter. He now has to go through what all the regular dads go through, and then that's funny for us to watch him suffer. So, I want you to suffer. All that to be said. Okay? How about her?
When she
Where's she at? Like, where's she at in the course of the play? And what's happening here?
Well, she came seeking her father.
I need a voice, please.
Well, she came to seek her father, and later on it's revealed as to the real reason why she came.
Which is?
She wants to have a relationship with her father, but she doesn't want to come out right out and say, hey, you're my dad, I want you to be my dad. She wants to make it more of like a business. She wants to be an actress. That's what she goes to LA to be, or so is what's thought. And then it's later revealed that she just wants to have a relationship with her father. And so now she gets this job, and she's coming home late, and she just doesn't see the big deal in why he cares so much. And then like later on, she's like, oh, this is my dad, and he does care for me, in that sense.
What does she want more than anything in the world?
To be loved.
Yeah. She wants a dad to care that she's not home.
Yeah. But she doesn't want him to
It's
know
like
that.
you want Matt to stop the scene until he does, and then you're like, I hope he doesn't stop the scene. And if he doesn't stop the scene, you're like, why didn't he stop my scene? You know? The girl, the typical teenage girl doesn't want their parents to catch her. Wants to get away with it. Why are my parents so strict? Until you don't have that.
Right.
And then you're dying for dad to stay up and wait and worry. Somebody actually cared. It's kind of a big deal. Okay. There's something interesting in Libby that is the key to his transformation. And it's what you're about to talk about. This whole idea of how she is thinking about networking and working her way into the movies.
And she calls me on the fact that even though I think what she's doing is nutty and isn't going to get her anywhere, that at least she's got the drive to be out doing anything.
That's right.
And I've turned into a burnout.
That's right.
And she makes me see it.
That's right. That's exactly right. That is the everything. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, I'll write about this. This is the next thing. I'll write a story about this girl. I ought to be in pictures. It's like, that's the idea. Okay. So, that's that. Now, for the comedy's sake, you were sort of on the play where you weren't taking any pauses that weren't necessary. For the most part, I believe. So now I want you to really focus on still connecting the idea all the way through, but speaking at a pace that's slow enough that we can hear every word and every consonant. Because Neil Simon is ridiculously funny. It's one thing I notice about the great writers, is the more you slow down without pausing. See, this is what actors do. They tend to, when I say slow down, they will pause in between their lines, and then they'll still speak fast. So it will take a really long time to bore me. That's not the idea. If you allow Neil Simon to flex his muscles, and we get to really hear the words crisp and clear, along with the reactions. And you'll have to be louder even when you're whispering.
Okay.
Okay? What?
Okay.
Right. We'll see what happens, okay? So, slow it down without pausing. Really listen, really connect. Be now uber concerned and almost frustrated that you're concerned.
Right. Yes. I'm angry at myself that I care so deep.
That's right.
Because our deeper connection comes actually in the next scene.
But it's already there.
So at this point, I'm upset at myself that I care this much.
That's right.
And that's part of what's ruined my relationship with Steffi at this moment.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
One moment, please. Try not to fall down.
Let me see her walk after you put your shoes on. Did you work on her walk?
After they're
Libby's
on
walk?
or after they're off? Because it's different because she's tiptoeing in her shoes.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
How Libby walks.
Very carefree, so doesn't give a care in the world.
Probably close. Probably close. Try a little wider and and a little more awkward.
Oh. Okay.
Not longer, wider.
Oh, wider.
A little,
Oh,
just a
holy
little
smoke.
wider.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And then shoulders back. Okay. I think, I always say I think because I don't know. It's kind of my opinion from study. But I think that she's pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
She hitchhiked here.
Yeah, from New York.
Yeah. From New York to LA.
Yeah.
Like she made it by herself. She's 16. I mean, that's it.
She's 19.
You're 19. Okay, you're 19. Still, by yourself. Just bus, train, hitch, whatever you got to do. You made it here with not much money. You didn't take a plane ride.
And she said she hiked more than she hitched.
There you go. You got a big backpack and you show up, right? But there's something about Libby that is like, I think, this kind of like, where if I were a guy that was gonna hurt somebody, I wouldn't pick her. Where she's kind of like, hey, like she's kind of here, right? So that won't leave her when she's here now. She might be the girl like, I don't know if I want to hire you, but you'll probably work harder than everyone else, so sure.
Okay.
You can be my grunt person.
Right.
I won't have you welcome people to the restaurant, but I'll have you run and go get cars. You got it. You know?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that will live inside your shoes and outside your shoes.
You got it. Still tiptoe.
What's the point in tiptoeing? You could hear the car pull up in Denver.
I didn't want to wake you.
You have to fall asleep before someone can wake you.
Why didn't you take
Do
your
it
pill?
again. First line. Bigger, louder, and I really want to hear the crisp diction. Go ahead.
For both of us?
You, yeah.
Okay. What's the point in tiptoeing? You could hear the car pull up in Denver.
All right, so here's what we're missing. It's the worry. Put the worry here. She can hear
okay.
you, right?
Right.
So it's out. You know, like the guy, the dad, and he's like, chink. He doesn't have to look.
The stage direction says that she doesn't observe me observing her as she's walking in.
Okay,
That's why
That's fine.
why I was doing it that way.
then I would observe her,
And then turn and do
then
the
I
line
would
without
turn.
looking
That's
at her.
right. That's
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
here's the thing. I want her to look at me at some point. I'd like you to see that I'm not happy with you, so I'm gonna go here. Right? That's what I mean. So now have the patience to watch her and then land the guilt trip, Dad.
What's the point in tiptoeing? You could hear the car pull up in Denver.
I don't want to wake you.
You have to fall asleep before someone can wake you.
Why didn't you take your pill?
I took a pill. The pill is more worried about you than I am.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd be busy doing other things.
I did other things. What are you whispering for?
I don't want to wake Steffi.
She's not that late a sleeper. She went home 2 hours ago.
Well, how come? Doesn't she usually stay over?
Or she's not usually staying over the night.
What's wrong? Did something happen with you two?
Never mind, Steffi. How about explaining where you've been till 3 o'clock in the morning?
I was out.
What do you mean out? 3 nights this week. You come home 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock. I want to know where you've been.
I'm okay. I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
Huffy? You walk out of here, don't tell me where you're going. You don't call, you don't know anybody in this city. You walk in 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't think I have a right to be huffy?
Good, do it again. I want you to try without standing up.
Okay. From the Huffy? Mm-hmm. Huffy? You walk out of here. Don't tell me where you're going. You don't call. You don't know anyone in this city. You walk in 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't think I have a right to be huffy?
You want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Don't test me. Don't play games with me. If you think I'm going to keep paying through the nose for those 16 years I owe you, you got another guest coming. It's a bad debt. Forget it. You're never going to collect.
Good. Do that part again. Don't test me. First time you've got exclamation points.
Okay.
All right, so pick it up from, you want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Okay. You want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Don't test me. Don't play games with me. If you think I'm going to keep paying through the nose for those 16 years I owe you.
It wasn't big enough.
Okay.
Because then it comes down. It comes back down after, so it's don't test me, exclamation point, don't play games with me, exclamation point. Then there's no more exclamation point.
Okay.
So it's going to be what she does somehow warrants an exclamation point from you. Perhaps you find it disrespectful, you find it whatever you find it, but there's something that just like you actually, again, fatherly anger here for 2 lines.
Okay.
You want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Don't test me. Don't play games with me. If you think I'm going to keep paying through the nose for those 16 years I owe you, you got another guest coming. It's a bad debt. Forget it. You're never going to collect.
All I asked you for is one lousy introduction to some of your big shot friends.
Can't understand you. Slow down.
All I asked you for is one lousy introduction to some of your big shot friends, which I never got because you don't have.
Good. Do it again. Slow it down. Lean into the accent. Nice and slow.
All I asked you for.
Slow.
All I asked you for is one lousy introduction to some of your big shot
lousy?
friends. Lousy.
Introduction, like one, really, trust me.
Okay. All I asked you for is one lousy introduction to some of your big shot friends, which I never got because you don't have.
You've been on my back asking for payoffs ever since you walked in here with that orphan Annie look on your face. You owe me and I'm here to collect. That's what you said to me. Am I right, Grandma? Am I making that up? You're my witness.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
Good, Tony. So, when you're still up here, what's going through your mind?
Well, she's the one who talks to Grandma.
I know.
And I'm turning that back on her.
I know.
And I know, well, when she came in, it's true, what I say is true, that she did say you owe me and I'm here to collect. That is fact, and I'm reminding her of that with Grandma, who she talks to, is going to know that.
So when you stay up after you're done talking, what were you thinking?
I'm holding it, I'm waiting for her to react.
That's right. You're waiting. So, that's where you got caught acting.
Ah.
It's like, it's your line. Okay. So what I want you to start doing now is I want you to act less with your head. I like that you're big with your hands and things. Okay? But if you do one of these things, feel free to release from her. There are times when I want to be seen. I want to be watched. I can't be watched when I'm staring. So if I'm like, am I right, Grandma? Did I get that right? And I'm pissed. I'm clearly pissed. She can then see, well, boy, oh boy, something happened tonight. Because she sees the something on me. But if I just kind of keep like staying here, like just trust that you can listen without looking. Okay?
From?
Same spot.
That was the Huffy?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to be huffy, be huffy.
Let's go. I'm okay, I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
I'm okay, I'm fine. You're right. I got it.
So here's where you have to have discipline, Alex. And it's really even harder when you're working on a new accent.
Yeah.
Because the faster I go, the more I can try to cover up this accent. It's not quite perfect. Right? You're going to have to slow down per word what you're saying, and it might expose something that you don't like.
Yeah.
And same with you.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
Huffy? You walk out of here, don't tell me where you're going. You don't call, you don't know anyone in
Do it
this
again,
city.
Alex. Do it again. So now you didn't release.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What does your body want to do?
Leave. Oh, okay.
You did?
No. Well, yes. Well, it's like,
What are you getting so huffy about? What did
so
you want to
huffy
do?
about?
What did you want to do? Think it, feel it. Because
What
right
are you
now you're
huffy
frozen.
about? Okay.
What did you want to try to find it?
I want my chicken.
You want to eat your, that's
I wanna
right.
eat my chicken.
What are you getting so huffy about? Let me sit down and ugly eat my chicken.
Yeah.
She ugly eats the way she ugly walks. Okay? So ugly eat it.
Okay.
Which is even more so like I'm not actually giving you what you want. Which is I'm sorry.
Right.
It's, you know, and what else? You know?
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
Huffy?
Do it again. Slow it down.
I'm okay. I'm fine. What are you getting so huffy about?
Huffy? You walk out of here, don't tell me where you're going. You don't call, you don't know anyone in this city. You walk in 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't think I have a right to be huffy?
You want to be huffy? Be huffy.
Don't test me. Don't play games with me. If you think I'm going to keep paying through the nose for those 16 years I owe you, you got another guest coming. It's a bad debt. Forget it. You're never going to collect.
All I asked you for is one lousy introduction to some of your big shot friends, which I never got because you don't have.
You've been on my back asking for payoffs ever since you walked in here with that orphan Annie look on your face. You owe me and I'm here to collect. That's what you said to me. Am I right, Grandma? Am I making that up? You're my witness.
Boy, oh boy. Something
Away,
happened.
away, Tony, away.
Oh,
Away.
okay.
No, down. Yeah, like
Down.
just so she can see you're pissed. Now you sit and look at him.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I was out meeting people.
What people?
Important people. In the business.
Show business?
That's right.
Good. Let's go back to boy, oh boy.
Yes, sir. Boy, oh boy.
No. Boy, oh boy.
Okay, oh, okay.
Something happened tonight. Both of you this slow.
Okay.
Let Neil Simon flex his muscles. You have no idea how much funnier the scene already could have been had you slowed down. This particular part is easier to go slow with, so do it.
Boy, oh boy.
It's not as slow as I went, I don't think.
Okay.
Land it on him.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
There's no pause there. Do it again.
I thought there was.
No, there's no pause. But now that she's going that slow, I'll verify. No, there's no pause.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, something happened tonight. Line.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I'm waiting
for
for
an
an answer. Let it come out slow.
Okay.
As he's going slow, you can breathe and already be on your line.
Okay.
Okay? Again, boy.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I was out meeting people.
What people?
Important people.
Yeah. So it's what people? and what is italicized.
Okay.
But if you separate those two, it's even more like, what, like your people gonna call my people? Like, you got people now. Yeah. Boy.
Boy, oh boy. Something happened tonight.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I was out meeting
Nope.
people.
So, you gotta be disciplined all the way. Do that line again. Same as boy, oh boy.
Okay. I was out meeting people.
Bigger, louder, slower.
I was out meeting people.
What people?
Important people in the business.
Show business?
That's right.
I see. And what important people in show business did you meet tonight?
Producers.
Yeah, eat.
Directors.
Eat while you talk.
Actors.
No, eat while you talk.
Oh.
Do it again. Producer, eat.
Producers. Directors. Actors.
Really? Anyone I might know?
Well, I don't know if you know them, but you may have heard of them.
Man,
Like
what?
who?
May
What's
have heard of them.
Like who?
Like Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Yes, I heard of him. You met him tonight.
That's right.
I see. Who else did
Go
you
back, slower. So it's Jack Nicholson, question mark.
Okay.
What do you suppose is there?
Could this be real or is this just garbage?
I think this is sarcastic to the tilt.
Okay. Oh, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Okay. Jack Nicholson. Yes, I heard of him. You met him tonight.
That's right.
I see. Who else did you meet?
In movies or television?
Either one.
So it's in movies or in television.
In television, okay. In movies or in television?
Either one.
James Caan.
Oh, you met Jimmy. How is he?
He looked terrific to me.
I'm sure he did. Anyone else I might have heard of?
Let's see, Candice Bergen, Suzanne Plachette, someone who's the vice president at Columbia Pictures, the one director who directed Jaws, a lot of others. I can't remember their names.
Well, you must have been so busy. Did you talk to these people?
Well, sure. We didn't have major conversations, but I talked to them.
Sure, I mean. Did you say I mean? Okay, do it again.
Sure. I mean, we didn't have major conversations, but I talked to them.
You mean the way you talk to Grandma?
No. Grandma's dead. These people were all dressed up. I know the difference.
I'm just asking.
Okay, so now this is one of those hints that helps us understand what Matt's talking about. She says, we didn't have major conversations, but I talked to them. Stage direction is, for Herb, looks at her. Which means what?
He wasn't before.
Aha. Aha. So now we get to see him fuming, see him thinking, see him being Herb, and then now when he looks, it matters. But if he's staring at her the whole time,
Okay.
it doesn't bring any effect. It brings zero effect.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gotcha.
Really? Anyone I might know? Pick it up from there.
Okay. Really? Anyone I might know?
I don't know if you know them, but you may have heard of them.
Like who?
Like,
There's
Jack.
no pause there.
okay. Like Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Yes, I've heard of him. You met him tonight.
That's right.
I see. Who else did you meet?
In movies or in television?
Either one.
James Caan.
Oh, you met Jimmy. How is he?
He looked terrific to me.
I'm sure he did. Anyone else I might have heard of?
Let me see.
Rattle them off.
Candice Bergen, Suzanne Plachette, someone who's the vice president at Columbia Pictures, that one director who directed Jaws,
A lot of others. I can't remember the names.
Oh, you must have been so busy. Did you talk to these people?
Sure, I mean, we didn't have major conversations, but I talked to them.
You
No,
mean...
wait. But I talked to him. Let the look be a move.
Okay.
Say your line again.
Sure, I mean, we didn't have major conversations, but I talked to them.
You mean the way you talk to Grandma?
No. Grandma's dead. These people were all dressed up. I know the difference.
I'm just asking. And where did you meet Jack and Jimmy and Candy?
At a party in Beverly Hills, 11704 Benedict Canyon.
Who invited you?
Gordon Zaharias.
Gordon Zaharias. Who the heck is Gordon Zaharias?
He's the one who got me the job.
What job?
Parking cars at the party in Beverly Hills.
I made $32
Do it
plus
again, do it again. Who invited you? It's Gordon Zaharias. And then when you say Gordon Zaharias, it's all italicized.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. I actually can't explain it, other than maybe Neil Simon thinks that name is really funny.
I think it's because being a screenwriter, I know most of the people in town. So that if somebody important that knows all these people invited her to a party, why don't I know who that is?
Yeah, Gordon Zaharias. Yeah, all right. It's also, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, do it again. Who invited you?
Who invited you?
Gordon Zaharias.
Gordon Zaharias? Who the hell is Gordon Zaharias?
He's the one who got me the job.
What job?
Parking cars at the party in Beverly Hills.
I make $32 plus tips, not including me and Jack Nicholson.
That's where you met all these people, parking their cars.
Well, at first I was just a relay man.
All right, good. I don't think Herb should laugh.
No? Okay.
I think internally. But let the audience laugh.
Okay.
The audience is laughing because of Neil Simon's awesome park the car, it's hilarious. All you have to do is nail it back after she does, because you continue the same fun alliterational thing. Ask her again, make her do the accent. Big, loud, slow.
Who invited you?
Gordon Zaharias.
Gordon Zaharias? Who the hell is Gordon Zaharias?
He's the one who got me the job.
What job?
Parking cars at the party in Beverly Hills.
I made $32 plus tips, not including me and Jack Nicholson.
That's where you met all these people, parking their cars.
Well, at first I was just a relay man. Like George Siegel would come out and say, 78 blue Mercedes. Then I would run like crazy down the hill and yell to this other guy, 78 blue Mercedes! And he would get to drive it up. Only I gave him $10 plus half my tip so that I could drive the car up and meet George Siegel. He was very nice. He smiled and he said thanks just like in A Touch of Class. I made a lot of great contacts.
George Siegel saying thanks is what you consider making a good contact?
Well, it doesn't hurt.
The important thing was leaving the cards in the windshield.
What cards?
See, we had to leave these little cards that says, Sunset Valet Parking, no parties too big or too small. Only on the back of the card, I wrote, Libby Tucker, New York trained actress, no pot is too big or too small, with my phone number. I must have left 30 of them, and even if only 2 people call, it's worth the money I spent.
Lid, can I ask you a serious personal question? Do you honestly believe that anybody in this business, a director, a producer, a cameraman, anybody, is going to call someone for an audition because
So
they
this says, looks at her, then looks away, trying to figure her out. Don't know what that means. Do something with it.
All right, what's the cue to that?
Even if it was only 2 people. So you have to not be looking in order to look.
Okay.
I must have left 30 of them. Even if only 2 people call, it's worth the money I spent.
Yeah, see? You see? Neil Simon knows what he's doing. Now, when you don't look at her, be careful not to pull attention to you.
Okay.
So when you're not looking at her, you don't want to be here. Because if you're directing the audience, which you are slightly, you want them to see you and go, she's most important right now. And when she talks, we want to see your interpretation of what she's saying. We want to see your thought life, not your like movement. Because if you move, then the audience is going to have to go like this. You're getting flagged by Tyler, Brian. Okay, again.
From the same spot?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
What spot might that be?
That spot might be, even if only 2 people call.
I must have left 30 of them. Even if only 2 people call, it's worth the money I spent.
Libby, let me ask you a serious personal question. Do you honestly believe that anybody in this business, a director, a producer, a cameraman, anybody, is going to call someone for an audition because they left their name on the back of a valet parking ticket?
Not a big chance, but a better chance than I've sorry.
You don't have to keep eating now.
Okay, thank you.
Unless you were hungry, but the thing was,
I'm so good.
it was just like the munching through producer, like that was basically the only time that I wanted you to be eating, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's okay.
Not a big chance, but a better chance than if I'd left nothing at all.
You have no chance, none. There are 5,000 qualified.
Okay, so what is this one? Do you know?
It's capital letters.
And exclamation points.
Okay. So even more. All right.
So what it means is the monologue before. So now we can put it all into how do we read Neil Simon, and how does he give us the clues? So he says looks away, says what he's saying. What he's doing is he's filling up the volcano.
Okay.
He's boiling the water in the teapot. Use the whole monologue to boil it up, boil it up, boil it up, and when she answers, it's a explosion. Okay?
All right.
So that's why it doesn't necessarily have to even be to her, because it's more like, come on, do you get it? She says what she says, and you're like, okay.
Take back to maybe do you honestly believe?
Yeah.
Do you honestly believe that anybody in this business, a director, a producer, a cameraman, anybody, is going to call someone for an audition because they left their name on the back of a valet parking ticket?
Do it again. I still think you're talking to her too much.
Okay.
I want you to use it to boil up, to boil up, to boil up.
Okay. So look away, look at her, but then once I start, then it's
more
away
stillness. Bring me more stillness and more because we're going to see you getting to a point of if she says one more thing, you're going to explode, and then you explode. But you have to work your way up to it.
All right. Let me start from the top of that where I look away, look back. Libby, can I ask you a serious personal question? Do you honestly believe that anybody in this business, a director, a producer, a cameraman, anybody, is going to call someone for an audition because they left their name on the back of a valet parking ticket?
Not a big chance, but a better chance than if I'd left nothing at all.
You have no chance, none! There are 5,000 qualified agents in this town who can't get their clients a meeting with these people, but you think they're going to call...
But you. This is one of those exceptions.
Yes.
It's italicized.
Right. Who can't get their clients a meeting with these people, but you think they're going to call you because you left your name on the...
Because you left your...
Okay.
He breaks the... If Neil Simon's going to break the rule, he breaks it hard.
Okay.
So it's
Gotcha.
your.
All right.
You.
There are 5,000 qualified agents in this town who can't get their clients a meeting with these people, but you think they're going to call you because you left your name on the back of a valet parking ticket. No, on the back of a stub they're going to throw out the window the minute they pull out of the driveway.
That's a very pessimistic attitude to take.
Okay. For the sake of argument, let us say someone looks at the stub. If someone needs a valet service for their son's bar mitzvah. Someone just met a girl at the party, wants to write down her number. Someone has a piece of spare rib in their teeth and is trying to pick it out with the card. Only a small percentage of that group will look at the back of the card, but let's say one does.
Only a small percentage of, and then that is italicized.
Okay.
So now he's doing for her a math problem.
Okay. Right.
And saying, okay, let's just think logically. Most people will throw it away. So now we're down to these people. Of these people, now that small group. Okay.
From
same monologue.
all right. I'm sorry. How's it start?
Okay, for the sake of
Oh,
argument.
gotcha.
And he's trying to control himself, but the okay is an exclamation point.
Okay. For the sake of argument, let us say someone looks at the card. Someone's looking for a valet service for a son's bar mitzvah. Someone just met a girl at the party and wants to write down her number. Someone has a piece of spare rib stuck in their teeth and is trying to pick it out with the card. Only a small...
Someone has a spare, go back to that, and take your time with it.
All right. There's no piece, is there? It's just
Someone has a piece
Okay,
of
all right.
spare rib.
Someone has a piece of spare rib stuck in their
No,
teeth.
spare rib. You have to separate the two R's.
Okay. Someone has a piece of spare rib stuck in their teeth and is trying to pick it out with the card. Only a small percentage of that group will look at the back of the card, but let's say one does. Do you?
He sees.
No.
But let's say one does. He sees.
Okay. Right. But let's say one does. He sees Libby Tucker, New York trained actress. No part is too big or too small. Do you imagine he's going to slam his foot on the brake, pull off the road, and say to his wife, "That's exactly what I'm looking for. An actress trained in New York who doesn't care if her part is too big or too small. Right under my nose in my very own car. What a break for me. Well, I'm going to contact her first thing in the morning and hope and pray that someone else with spare rib in their teeth didn't get to her before me."
With an attitude like that, I can see why you don't get too much done.
Forget I mentioned it. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'll stay out of this room tomorrow morning in case you're swamped with phone calls.
If I had stayed in Brooklyn, I never would have come out here. If I never came out here, I never would have met Steffi. If I didn't meet Steffi, she would have never told me about the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts. If I didn't go over to the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts, I never would have met Gordon Zaharias of Peoria, Illinois.
Okay, good. I'm going to make you start over in a second,
Yes.
but good. So now it's going to be about some timing stuff. So let's go back to the end of your monologue, Herb. I want you to not give it away what you're going to do. So you started to move before the end of your line. Forget I mentioned it. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'll stay out of this room tomorrow morning in case you're swamped with phone calls, period. He starts for the room.
Okay.
So finish the thought, you go to the room. Then she pipes in. Now the question becomes, and we'd have to find it, and it doesn't look like it's necessarily in here, as far as you stopping, coming back, whatever. I know you go to the room, it looks like later, but the question is, if she starts yelling at you, what do you do? And I think it's a matter of this, where usually it's going to be, let's say you get up to go to the room. Wherever she starts talking, you might stop.
Okay.
If you're demanded to turn around, you turn around. But you don't choreograph that. You choreograph that I have to move when I move, but then it's like she's gotta pull me in if I'm gonna get pulled in.
Something in her voice has to prompt me to turn
Yeah,
around.
and even with the blocking you have, it's not actually even all that easy to get your back to her,
Right.
necessarily. Which I would actually prefer to have my back to her, if I were you. Just in 1 second, I'm like, that's where I'd rather be, but that's okay. Because if I go up this way and she stops me, I'm gonna be here. And now I'm gonna have my back to the audience, or do the awkward, face out deal.
We have 15 left total,
Thanks.
including top back.
So what you could do, pull this back slightly. And you got an easier beeline, maybe.
Okay.
So you can let him start, and if I were you, I'd want him to be about here so that he can, there.
Okay.
And eventually you're going to go, and then you come back, right? Okay.
At the very end, I exit there, yeah.
Okay.
This is part of you saying
Finish.
No.
Finish your line to completion, and then go.
Okay. Forget I mentioned it.
Couldn't
Sorry I
understand
brought
it.
it up.
Couldn't understand it.
Forget I mentioned it. Sorry I brought it up. I'll stay out of this room tomorrow morning in case you're swamped with phone calls.
If I had stayed in Brooklyn, I never would have come out here. If I never came out here, I never would have met Steffi. If I didn't meet Steffi, she would have never told me about the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts. If I didn't go over to the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts, I never would have met Gordon Zaharias of Peoria, Illinois. If I didn't meet Gordon Zaharias, I would have never gotten a job driving George Siegel's car. If I didn't drive all those big shots cars, then the name and number of Libby Tucker would never be stuck in their windshield. Where is your number stuck? If you don't pick yourself up and do something in this
Okay,
world...
so, sorry, we're going to have to do it again because he moved.
Okay.
So, this movement back here stopped me from listening to her. So I liked here, if you do anything, it's this. But you coming down, you actually physically moving, that's the thing I'm talking about, where you are sucking attention from your scene partner when you want them to have it. I actually prefer everyone to look here until, because when I move, I want the move to matter.
Okay. From same spot again?
Let's do her monologue.
Okay.
Right there, go, monologue.
If I had stayed in Brooklyn, I never would have come out here. If I didn't come out here, I never would have met Steffi. If I didn't meet Steffi, she would have never told me about the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts. And if I didn't go over to the Los Angeles Academy of Dramatic Arts, I never would have met Gordon Zaharias of Peoria, Illinois. If I didn't meet Gordon Zaharias,
Freeze.
I never would have gotten a job driving George Siegel's car. If I didn't get a job driving those big shots cars, then the name and number of Libby Tucker would never be stuck in their windshield. Where was your number stuck? If you don't pick yourself up and do something in this world, they'll bury you in Mount Hebron Cemetery. And on your tombstone, it'll say born 1906, died 1973. And in between, he didn't do nothing.
Leaving cards in windshields is not how you become an actress.
And going to Hollywood Park Racetrack is not how you get a script written.
Don't you tell me what to do. I haven't asked you for your advice or your help.
And I stopped asking for yours. I'm an independently self-employed woman.
You're a dreamer, that's what you are. You paint Morocco on your ceiling and pretend you don't live in Brooklyn. You pretend your father's the king of Hollywood and you're gonna march out here and become the princess. Well, life isn't pretending, it's goddamn hard work!
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. I just thought you'd be pleased with how...
Okay, good. We're gonna have to stop here for time. He re-enters before you say your second sorry.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
But good. And then realize, like, so I was gonna tell Tyler, but it didn't quite work out. But I wished I had my phone, which I don't keep in the classroom. But I wanted to take your photo because, and I probably felt good. But when you were here as dad, listening. And she was talking to you, it was the still frame of the play. But if you would have let yourself do the thing that you do with the movement where it's not purposeful, it would have blown it. But you're there, we could hear you feeling, hear you thinking, hear you hurting, and also hear you being right. And then the movement mattered. Now the movement, you could go all the way, but it's such a huge move. So be aware of that. I would probably here, so I could just go. That's what I would probably do.
But I want her, when she says, when she throws the racetrack in my face, I like that she's like in my face with that. Because I'm throwing something at her and she turns it right back on me.
Sure. So hold up then. So she says what, or what's the end of what you just said?
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. And you say what?
Leaving cards on windshields
Yeah.
is...
So I would probably go right here. leaving cards on windshields, the blah, blah, blah. And then what? What's the end of yours?
It's not how you become an actress.
Not how you become an actress. Then what? Do you leave?
And then it's my line, and going to Hollywood Park Racetrack is not how you get a script written.
And then?
Don't you tell me what to do. I haven't asked you for your advice or your help.
Maybe I want to get closer. You tell me what to do. And I didn't ask for yours.
Is it okay at that point if we kind of close in behind the couch? Because you normally wouldn't do that.
No, it's actually, I don't mind ever behind the
Okay.
couch. It all depends on if you made yourself enough room.
Okay.
It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, or you push everything back and it's in front of the couch would be fine too, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't bother me. You wouldn't stay there for long. You're right. You're right. So
Okay.
probably you push everything back.
But then the reason we don't do that is because then my exit is exiting too quick. I need time to walk.
Got it. We might have solved some of that, but we'll see. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So this here is like we're gonna fight, like for real fight. So
take you
you
out.
want to always think about stage balance, and like I'm here, she's there. If I stay here, we're still balanced. The second I move, we're out of balance. Now when I come here, eventually one of us is gonna have to move and change, or it feels weird. And so then either she's gonna go, now I know you're gonna go to the bedroom, but the second you go there, you have no more moves. You used all your moves in one shot.
Right.
But if I turn around, now the turning around is its own fucking thing. Don't you tell me, right? And then that's a lot, just right? And so there's so much that can be done without the full move, and now you haven't done that. Therefore, if you do later in the play or at a different time or whatever, it matters. But you're not a guy that runs all over the stage.
Right. Okay.
Cool. All right, let's talk.
Yes, got it.
All right. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks
First
for having me.
Masterclass.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we'll start with you, Tony. How you feeling? What'd you expect? Are you happy?
I wasn't sure what to expect, but what's really good about it is I think I had probably taken it about as far as I could on my own, and then I needed to hear the other things to get the gears turning and find those other layers and nuances in it. And so that was really good. That's exactly what I needed. That's what I'm hoping for in the other classes as well, when I do the monologues and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'll do the work to do as much as I can do with it, but then I need the coaching to elevate it.
Yeah, good. And you've gotten exponentially better since we met you, and you were already a very good actor when I met you.
Thank you.
I mean it. I don't bullshit. You know that, and it's just true. So now, what I'm going to be pushing you on really hard is going to be you trusting your thoughts to allow real guttural feelings and much less movement. Okay? And then the movement that does come it'll be there. You won't be able to stop it. It'll be there. But it'll never be something that's hindering you from having the really, really tender feelings that are necessary in every scene. And this scene is no different. Where does anger come from? Love.
And hurt.
And where does hurt come from? Love. It's the truth. It's like you can't hurt me if I didn't love you, so to speak, right? So you're in this place where he's now, because he fell in love with his daughter, he's now able to be hurt by her.
Right.
That's the thing. It's kind of like the whole idea of like, if you never fall in love, you never have to fall out of love. But better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. Where are you at?
I'm in a great place. I'm
Yeah?
not gonna lie. This is the second master class. First one was. I'm glad I did the first one because now I had the full insight. I've never worked harder on a script or for a role in my life. I've done a lot of and I surprised myself. You know what I mean? Like I actually put work in.
Yeah.
So it made a difference. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It's life changing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like when did you start working on the play?
Right when you told me what it was, I looked it up.
There you go. That's the difference. As soon as she found out what it was, she got the play. By the time we did our evaluation at the end of the previous showcase, she was already under a tree reading the play.
That's my chai, yeah.
Right? With your chai.
Yes, sir.
And I told her you have to read it 3 times before you start working on it. That's just the beginning. That's just the intro to intro, is reading the full play 3 times. That's prior to memorization. Because you want to understand the story. You want to understand the character. You want to have an enjoyment factor of like, oh, this is a fun play to read. That's first. Secondly, what's my character's point of view? Great. Thirdly, let me look at it like a scientist and look at all the commas, buts, ifs, ors, italicized, capitals, and go, what does that mean? Let me go backwards. What does that mean? Let me go backwards. Let me try to figure out what the heck is he's trying to tell me here, because he's giving me clues. The playwright's giving me clues. Let me try to figure it out. And then you go to work on the memorization, and you go to work with your scene partner on figuring out how blocking can put icing on the cake, and how the right character backgrounds can put icing on the cake. The accent puts icing on the cake. But that first fundamental process to start, it takes time. It's going to take you that full first week to do what I just said before you start memorizing. And then the memorization process is another whole animal. And I'm proud of you because I know you worked on it. I was looking, I was like a hawk, ready to call you on your words.
There may have been a few, but
There was a couple.
I was like, ah, dang.
There was a couple, but it wasn't. It was like rare, a rare misstep, and you knew the script, and that's what I think I told you is. Maybe I told someone else this, but the memorization is what gives you the freedom, and all I want for you is to be free, because when you're free, you can take direction and play. And it's fun. It's not fun when you're nervous and I don't remember the next line. Then it becomes like, this is so hard and uncomfortable and embarrassing, and so.
Yeah, no, I was definitely really nervous. I was telling you beforehand, guys, I was so stressed about eating chicken. I've never. Well, that was a new experience, saying lines with food in my mouth was,
Yeah.
Normally what you avoid.
And what is it? Yeah. So that was fun. That was my favorite part. Actually.
Have you practiced it?
We did, yeah.
Eating and talking?
Yes,
Yeah.
on Friday.
She was concerned at first that it would take away, and I'm like, no, it added so much. Especially when she's gesturing with the drumstick. I'm like, yes, I love it. It works so well.
Yeah, and what I would say too is it's again another skill, actually. So it'd be almost like pretending to smoke a cigarette or something, how you can't just phone it in and go, oh, I'll figure it out the day of. You practice eating in the scene, talking and feeling. So then it's like when I say ugly eat, what I mean is kind of get it all over your teeth and stuff, but if you take a huge bite, you'll have a hard time talking. So then it's like, how do I take a little bite but make it look like and feel like a big bite? And be kind of messy with it in a way without losing the integrity of your technique as an actor. Because the character is sloppy, but your technique still must be precise.
Yeah.
What else? Anything from you two?
Tony's great.
Isn't he?
He's amazing. He's
He's
been
all
such
right,
a
I
fun
guess.
partner.
He's all right.
He's cool.
Thank you.
You two are the best because you gave me the perfect story to tell everyone who wanted to make him an excuse about not meeting up, and I said, hey, I got 2 actors. One of them's coming from Payson and the other one's coming from Tucson. And they meet at least once a week, plus they come to classes twice a week.
Yeah.
But they found a way to meet. Why? Because it was important.
And we did Zooms on the days we didn't meet in person.
Of course you did. Of
Yeah.
course you did. And you taught Alex how to do a Zoom.
Yes, actually, I didn't have to figure it out. It's so embarrassing.
How did I know? How did I know? I don't know.
He knows everything.
All right. I'm always right because I'm willing to be wrong. All right. Thank you two very much. We got one scene left.
Thank you, all auditors. We're going to